Welcome back to another tutorial. This tutorial is going to be on Kiyotaka.ai. So what I have been using this tutorial for, or this interface for, specifically is monitoring order book depth. So I do use Trading Light, and I am using another piece of software at the moment that I'm still also kind of just using in the background, but this tutorial focuses specifically on Kiyotaka.ai. It is an order book and order flow software. Order book and order flow software. It is currently in beta, so it's not fully kind of developed. There is still works going on and upgrades going on currently. I believe it will have a paid version eventually, but it's currently free. So I would suggest you use it while it's still free and available. And while you do that, if you would want to, there will be a referral link in the description of this video. So if you sign up to Kyotaka, please use the referral link. Obviously, I don't get money from that. It's just a referral to see, obviously, how much traction I can get in using the software and getting members of the Discords and followers and members on my YouTube, subscribers on the YouTube to use it. That might give me traction to eventually get discounts on those type of things off it. So if that interests you, then yeah, just please support me that way. Obviously, I'm not getting any financial benefit from it currently, but I believe it will help me get some traction in being able to get deals if they do ever monetize this. So basically, it's Kiyotaka.ai. You will log in when you get to obviously the first sign-in page. This is basically what you see. You'll just see all the different features, and you'll see all the recommendations and those type of things. So once you log in, so if you could, yeah, as I was mentioning just a few minutes ago, sign up using the kind of the referral, if that's in the description. If you do that, I would appreciate that. So I have got the other screens loaded already, preloaded, because obviously I don't want to give in sign-in details and dox myself. So basically, when you sign in initially, you'll come to this this kind of screen, which is the dashboard. This just shows some key metric things, and you can actually this dashboard, you can customize it for yourself as well if you ever want to kind of use it and look at kind of the kind of metrics that I would say a CoinGlass or one of those type of websites have. So you can set this up. Obviously, it's not something I've looked at. I'm specifically looking at the chart section. And the chart section, then obviously you customize and add all your features and kind of the indicators or whatever you would like to use based on the order flow or whatever's available, the features that are available. So generally what you would do is you would click chart, and it would pull things up. Currently now, this automatically goes to my default order flow software, which is just order book depth and liquidations, limit orders. So this is for me, but just because I'm signed in, I can't actually. So for me, what I will do is I'll create a new workspace for this exercise, and I'll show you. So let's just say, let's call it YouTube for now, and I'll quickly show you how I use it. Not plot. Create and open a new tab. So I'm calling it YouTube for this intents and purposes. It may open up. Yeah. So I think when it opens up initially, yeah, it'll always kind of have CVD and the heat maps and all these type of things, right? And the colors. So the first thing I always look at is the coloring, which is in the settings. So obviously the heat map, I have chosen, I always use the ocean with the other things. So we're first going to quickly do the order book depth. So I take off the PVR, I don't use that. So for the time being, all I use, I use the standard thing. Obviously, it's got price, it's got volume, it's got order book heat map. And then with the order book heat map, it gives you an option to single or aggregate it, and also as well whether you want that the order book heat map to show in dollars or coin. I always want it in the amount of Bitcoin, so coin, and then I aggregate it. So when you aggregate it, you'll see a 3 with like a repeat or like a circular refunctioning. What I do is I always want Binance Spot. I want Binance Spot, Coinbase Spot, Binance Futures, right? So that's my aggregation. Then you click Save. That's all I want. That's all I use. And then for the aggregation and for it flipped to, yeah, it just automatically does that. I'd always flip it back to Ocean. And then I don't want anything below 100 Bitcoin. So like $1 million basically. So this is in, this is in coin. So it's 100. You can see the numbers now. This is the amount of Bitcoin. I normally go 100, and then 500 is usually, or 350 is what I would use, kind of as my my upper echelon of the heat map. There's the settings, HD resolution always, and then after this, all I use, and obviously it's set up in my my colors already, so the blue and the pink, or the teal and the pink. So all I do there on indicators now is I have these all preloaded. So with the favorites, or if you're obviously looking at official, you would then I then look at order book depth, and I load 5 of these generally. So I would load 5 of these, and you get something like that, and it looks like absolute do. But obviously what I do then is I'll show you all the customizations of what I do here. So these, you can actually set the order books which you want to monitor and use. Yeah, there's 5, just to be double sure. So yeah, that's basically, oh geez, we're dumping. And it's on the 5-minute, and then what I always make sure is it's on Bybit Futures. If you just change it to Binance Futures as well, I always have it on Binance Futures. All right, so basically the way to set this up is you set up your order books. I have obviously Binance Futures, so that's the chart. I generally would put this as 1%. I mean, so between more than 0 but less than 1, I want this in Bitcoin always. In coin value, that puts the 1% of the current chart. Then from there, obviously it's aggregated as well, so you have to choose aggregated or single. You can choose single actually. Single, I think as well, only does, yeah, it looks like it only does the chart. So if you go Coinbase and you take that off, why is it not doing that? So yeah, Coinbase, no, sorry. Let's reframe that. So then on the next one, you'll have Binance Spot. So obviously these are all the perps, and these are all the, some of these are all the spots. So the exchanges there, that's Binance Spot, and this one here is Coinbase Spot. So you just got to watch that. And then obviously 0 to 2.5%, you go coin, save, sorry, not 2.5%, you want 1%. So you want 0 to 1 of Binance perps, 0 to 1 Binance spots, 0 to 1 Coinbase spot, coin, and then you want 2.5% of Binance spot. Why is it not deselected? So 2.5% Binance spot coin, 2.5% Coinbase spot. You can add more coin. You can add more, but then basically what this does, it gives you a profile of the order book, between kind of 0% and 2.5% either side of price. So that's kind of locally, it's good for kind of order book scoping, just for the current kind of, for scalping mainly, and kind of to see what's beneath you and what's above you. So that's how I use it. So you can see 0.1%, and this is all all these values here on the right hand side are your actual amounts of Bitcoin sitting. So to reference this, on Coinbase, hypothetically, 2.5% down from price, which are buys. They're buying 2.5% when it's blue. There's 207 Bitcoin sitting in limit orders, basically, in the order book, or a delta of 207, which means there's 207 limit buys at that point usually. Also as well, sorry, the colors, I just use bubblegum. You can choose your colors here as well. Sorry, I didn't notice that, but there's your color selections. And then, that's basically how I set it up. So how I use it now is you monitor. So basically what I would do, and how I use this, is if we kind of can scroll back, if you come to where Bitcoin was at all-time high, if we can get back to that, I don't know how far back we can go, which would have been last weekend, wouldn't it? When did we get all-time high? It would have been up here. Yeah, so here was all-time high, right? This is a good example of how I used this, right? So basically, you start watching for, so you need your other confirmations. Obviously, use TradingView, get divergences, breaks of structure, whatever it is, right? So as we were moving up to all-time high, you can see the order book is red, which means they're selling or looking to sell as price goes up. Tino kind of always says that as well. As price is moving up, they are selling. So order book flips red. When you start seeing, obviously, when the whole order book's down to 2.5% depth, or how I read it, is all red, it starts flipping on the 1%, specifically on futures, on the top one for the chart. When that starts flipping blue, which means they are buying, which means they are selling and shorting, you would start your kind of shorts, or you can TP or whatever it is. So that's how I use it. And then obviously, as you can see, as you work your way down, you see your order books literally start flipping all over. So you would basically just wait until your whole order book, between the 0% to the 2.5% of the 5 panels, is down to, is all blue, all showing blue. At that point, you know that price is probably going to drop more, because there are more buys in the book than there are sells. So within 2.5% either side of price range, there are now more buys, which means the likelihood is price will go down. So that is kind of in general how I use this. But then also as well, you also have to mention, you can see here there's buys. You can kind of, there is ways also around it where you can see somehow, the order book, kind of other examples that probably kind of, you can see they were buying on the way down, and then it stalls, right? And then it kind of, you obviously see the buys, but nothing happens. You don't expect the price to go down, because obviously you've maybe hit a support zone. So you do have to reference this with like TradingView and kind of charts and TradingView. So sometimes you can have buys in the book and you just go sideways, because obviously they're loading up. And then once they load up again, you see a little bit of red, and you see it'll push up because they want to sell off. And then same thing, order book flips blue, order flips buy, they drop down. So sometimes within buys and sells it ranges. And then when you get the order book flip after that, that is kind of when price will move. So sometimes, even though even you get small periods of blue or red, and it goes sideways, you're thinking, oh, what's going on? Price isn't moving. When the order book flips again, when your whole order book kind of depth or delta flips again, that's kind of when price will move generally. So it's something that you guys would probably have to back test as well, but it's just a trick and a tool that I use. It generally will kind of give you some direction, but the thing is, I don't use this just by itself, and this is not a tool really to use in isolations. Obviously, you have to use your TradingView charts with your support and resistance levels, order blocks, or whatever systems you use, volume profiles like how we used. and also as well kind of Fibonacci's or whatever you're using, right? RSI, it doesn't matter what, but you have to have kind of a separate template or chart with TradingView with kind of that you use in conjunction with this to kind of give you the confluences. So currently the confluences are with this is just that kind of when you get to a support or resistance, you're watching usually for an order book flip, a delta flip, delta skew flip. Is kind of other ways of putting it for those that are more technical and know kind of order flow and order books and order book delta. So in this part, when it does that, generally, where do we get to? 14.4. So generally when that happens is kind of when you would see a move. So now currently, obviously, this is being recorded on the 20th of August, 2025, just a little bit post-market. So it's 10 UK time, but 5 EST in America, so it's just post-market now. Generally, now you can see here the order book, as an example, is starting to flip into a sell, but generally not the whole order book is flip sell, kind of just locally they're selling off, so hence why price is going down. So, and also as well, generally the higher percentile or depth kind of ring take precedence over the lower and the kind of more localized order book depth, the 1%. So if the 2.5% on spot are generally blue or red, depending where you are in kind of price action, generally those are favored. When your 2.5s usually flip, that kind of normally would also signal, normally for me as well, signals the direction of kind of, or maybe a change in direction within the price action. So for the most part, that's just the first part. If there are any questions or queries to this and kind of just a quick setup and how I use this, please comment on the video. Obviously, likes and shares and all that type of stuff are appreciated specifically in regards to this. But obviously, what I am doing is I'm pre-releasing this before kind of to the guys in our premium group, and then obviously it will be made fully public within a day or two. So for now, yeah, if there are any questions, just comment on this and I can kind of get back to it. Also as well, I'll be posting the referral link as well, so please use that when you sign up. When you do sign up, you can either just sign up with an email or you can sign up, like link it to your Google account or Discord account. I think it's another one how you can link it. So just do what you want to do. Generally what I did when I signed up as well is I just signed up with an email address rather than actually kind of linking it and giving it access to the full Google account. So yeah, that's that. So, and also as well, in regards to the templates, the template will be linked as well in the description. So yeah, please use the referral if that's, if you want to support me or kind of at least to help me to get some clout with these guys. So if they ever do monetize, then we can get decent discounts for using the software. And then also as well, I'll share the, specifically this template, which is order book delta skew or order book delta flows. So for the most part, that's this first part of these tutorials done on Kiyotaka.ai. I do have another template which I use for CVD, which they do have for kind of more basic or kind of the more standardized order flow. So CVD and open interest. I do have another template for that. So what I'll do is within a few days, I'll record that template as well, and I'll release that on a separate video and show you how I use that. Generally for order flow at the moment, I'm still using Trading Light. So that is one of the other softwares that I use, but have been having issues. So I am trying new softwares just to see if I can kind of get the same functionality with different software and either better or newer software. So that's the tutorial on Kiyotaka.ai, how I log in, what you see, the general usage, how I actually set up all of these kind of panels, and kind of the general use and how I use and watch how kind of to read the order book flows, depths, deltas. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I will be recording the next video, which will be probably a part 2 with my CVD template, and I'll link that in that video within a few days. So thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.